Welcome to EliteGuitarist.com. My name is Tavi Ginariu and I'm a classical guitarist. Today we're going to learn how to play El Testament d'Amelia, which is a beautiful Catalonian song transcribed for the guitar by Miguel Llobet. As you approach this piece, I think it's very helpful to know the story behind this piece. Amelia is on her last moments, and as she's dying, she leaves this will to her husband. Apparently, although there are many stories out there, the most reliable one says that her husband had fallen in love with her mother. And so towards the end of the song, Amelia tells her mother something of this sort. "And now to you, mother, I leave my husband." And heartbroken, she commits suicide. You will hear that sense of sadness and longing in this piece, and think about the story and how you may internalize this story and then express that through your playing. Andres Segovia said that the song of the piano is a discourse, and the song of the cello is an elegy, but the song of the guitar is a song. As you listen to this beautiful Catalonian song, imagine that your instrument, the guitar, is actually your voice. And so bring out that vocal quality of the piece through your playing. I look forward to teaching you this tutorial, so let's get started. I must mention that the tuning is not standard tuning, but the low E string is tuned down to a D. Therefore, your tuning would be something like this: D, A, D, G, B, and E. So it's a drop D tuning. This is the introductory theme. What's great about this piece is that the first section repeats almost identically with a few interpretive changes. So here's the first section of the piece. We're going to begin by playing two D notes in octaves: the low D string, 6th string, and then we're going to play a D note with a third finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. For the right hand, I like to use a rest stroke with my index finger just to bring out the melody here. And rather than playing them together from the very beginning, I break them up just a little bit to emphasize that melody. That is followed by a chord, a D minor chord, play like this. The 2nd finger will play an F note on the 4th string, 3rd fret, and the 1st finger will play an A note on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And so we're gonna play D and D together, and then we're going to play this chord on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. For the right hand, I'm using P, I, and M. So, again, and then I play the same D note, but this time, rather than playing it with the 3rd finger, I play with the 1st finger. Again, let's try that. And from here, I'm going to slide to an F note on the 2nd string, 6th fret. So. And I'm playing the low D string and F together. F is on the 2nd string. Followed by a B flat played with a 3rd finger on the 4th string, 8th fret, and a D note played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 7th fret. So in context, followed by an A now, and the A is played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 8th fret. And we're going to slide this G note to the 10th fret. So we're going to slide this G note with the same 4th finger to the 10th fret, 2nd string, and this is an A note. Okay, so let's try that again. G note with the 4th finger, and now D, low D, and A together. And I'm going to form a partial bar with the 1st finger on the 7th fret. And I'm going to play just the A and the D, which is the 4th and the 3rd strings. Followed by an F note played with the 2nd finger on the 5th string, 8th fret. And now I'm going to go to a D minor chord, which is a very basic bar chord on the 5th fret. So I'm going to play D and F together. F is played with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret. Then I'm going to play A and D together, and those are played with the 3rd and 4th finger on the 7th fret, on the 4th and the 3rd string. And now a D note played with the 1st finger on the 5th string, 5th fret. Let's take this in context again. So so that's the first half of the main theme. The second half of that main theme begins like this. We're going to begin by playing a G note with the 3rd finger, 1st string, 3rd fret, together with a low D in the bass. And then slide to the 5th position. G, and then the G note will slide all the way to a B flat, play with the same 3rd finger, this time on the 1st string, 6th fret. Now this chord is formed like this. We're going to play a B flat note with the 3rd finger, 1st string, 6th fret, an F note with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret, a D note played with the 4th finger on the 3rd string, 6th fret, and a G note played with the 1st finger on the 4th string, 5th fret. So the slide would sound like this. As you play this chord, make sure you emphasize the B flat note. That's the melody. After this chord, we're going to play a legato note. So A, play with the 1st finger, 1st string, 5th fret, followed by a B flat, played with the 2nd finger, 1st string, 6th fret. That legato is also referred to as a hammer-on. You basically simply hit the string, hit the fretboard, without actually plucking the note. For more details on this, please refer back to the introductory package level 1. After this, we're going to play an E with the 3rd finger and a C with the 4th finger. So the E is played with the 3rd finger, 5th string, 7th fret, and the C note is played with the 4th finger on the 1st string, 8th fret. So E and C together, bar chord on the 5th fret with the 1st finger. So, and after playing E and C together, we're going to play the 4th and the 2nd string together. So G and E. Followed by a B flat, played with the 2nd finger, first string, 6th fret. Now, the challenge with this chord will be allowing the accompaniment to ring out while you change the melody. So from G, keep that chord planted while you play the B flat, followed by an F chord. This F chord is played in the 5th position, which means that the first finger will hover over the 5th fret. We're going to keep that first finger as a partial bar covering 4 of the 6th string. So we're going to play an F note with a 4th finger on the 5th string, 8th fret. We're going to play that together with the A note pressed by the first finger, which is the barre chord, and the A note is found on the first high E string, 5th fret. Together, followed by a C and F. C is already pressed on the 3rd string with the first finger, but the F will be pressed with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret. Practice that slowly. If you're not used to bar chords, you may feel a little bit of pressure behind the thumb. And if it gets painful, simply take a break, relax it for a few seconds, and then go at it again. You don't want to push it too hard, you don't want to damage that muscle. At the same time, you want to push it hard enough to actually increase in resistance and strength. So, F and A together, followed by C and F. And now we're going to play 2 harmonics. The harmonic is played by simply touching the string on top of the fret. In this case, we're going to play an A harmonic on the 4th string. And rather than pressing the string fully, we're simply going to touch it with this portion of the finger. So now with the tip, but with this portion, the soft portion of the finger that does not have any calluses. If you're a beginner, you're probably thinking, oh, don't worry about it, I don't have any calluses anyway. So, here we go, A harmonic. So we're going to play an F chord on the 5th fret. Again, the first finger will act as a partial bar, and I'm going to play an F and A note together. The F note is played with the 4th finger on the 5th string, 8th fret, and A note is played with the first finger, which is the bar chord, 1st string, followed by C and F together. The C is already pressed with the first finger, 3rd string, but the F will need to be pressed with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret. After this, we're going to play 2 harmonics. These are natural harmonics, which means simply that rather than fully pressing a note, you would touch the string and not fully press the string. Rather than playing this A, for example, we're just going to touch that string right on the 7th fret. We're going to touch the string with the soft portion of our finger rather than with the tip. Not that, but so we're simply touching and then plucking. If you want to get a brighter harmonic sound, you would move from a dolce or natural to a more ponticello position, closer to the bridge. So we're playing that F chord, and then A harmonic, followed by an E harmonic, which is the 7th fret harmonic of the 5th string. And then I'm going to play a C sharp and G together. The C sharp is played with the 2nd finger, 3rd string, 6th fret, and the G note is played with the 4th finger, 2nd string, 8th fret, followed by another natural harmonic played with the 3rd finger on the 6th string, 7th fret, right on top of the fret. So let's review this. that I'm keeping those notes ringing while I play the harmonics. It provides more continuity to the sound. After this, we're going to go back to a D minor chord on the 5th fret. And we're going to play a D and A together. D is played with the first finger, which functions as a partial bar, partial because it covers 5 of the 6 strings. And the A is played on the first string. So D and A played together by pressing on the 5th fret. And then the rest of the chord is like this. 3rd finger on the 4th string, 7th fret. 4th finger on the 3rd string, 7th fret, and the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret. So again, we're going to play D and A, and I'm using again a rest stroke index finger to bring out the melody, followed by P-I-M arpeggio. After this chord, we're going to play a G note with the 4th finger, 2nd string, 8th fret. So again. This chord is played like this. The 3rd finger will press on the 6th string, 10th fret. At the same time as the 4th finger will press on the 2nd string, A note, 10th fret. So the melody is followed by an accompaniment chord, and this chord is played like this. The 2nd finger will press on the 5th string, 9th fret. At the same time as the 1st finger presses on the 3rd string, 8th fret. So we're going to simply move the 4th finger to play a B flat note on the 2nd string. So the 4th finger will press the 2nd string on the 11th fret, and then slide down to a G note, which is found on the same string, only this time will be pressed on the 8th fret. So, and we're going to play the 6th string pressed with the 3rd finger, 8th fret, and then the 2nd string pressed with the 2nd finger, 8th fret together, followed by accompaniment chord. So the E note is played with the 2nd finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, and the C sharp note is played with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, 6th fret, followed by an open A note. That's the open 5th string. Okay, so together. Back to a D minor chord. So D, low D, 6th string, open string, played together with an F note. The F note is played with the 2nd finger, 2nd string, 6th fret, followed by A and D together. The A is played with a 3rd finger, 4th string, 7th fret, followed by a D played with the 4th finger, 3rd string, 7th fret, and then D note played with the 1st finger, 5th string, 5th fret. Okay, in context. So after we're going to go now to a D minor chord on the 5th fret. We're going to play D and F. The F is played with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret, and And then together we're going to play an A and D. The A is played with the third finger, the D is played with the fourth finger. Third finger pressing the fourth string, 7th fret, and the fourth finger pressing the third string, 7th fret. So D and F, then A and D together, followed by an open A string. So, and now we're going to go to the first fret, the first position. We're going to play a barre chord. This is a B flat major chord. And this is played like this. The first finger would press on 5 of the 6th string, the first fret. Obviously, you're not going to press right on the fret, but right next to the fret. If you find yourself pressing in the middle of the fret, you're just working way too hard. So don't work hard, be smart, and put your finger right next to the fret. That will alleviate a lot of the pressure placed on this muscle, this thumb muscle. This B flat major chord will be played like this. B flat, pressed with the first finger, F note played with the third finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. We're going to play an A flat, pressed with the first finger on the 3rd string, and we're going to play a D note pressed with the 4th finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. And we're going to pluck P, I, M, A on the right hand, the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And now we're going to release the chord while keeping the 4th finger planted. So we're going to release the chord and then slide this D note to an F. The F is played with the same 4th finger, 2nd string, 6th fret. So